Alrighty, we are on tutorial 6. We're going to learn how to compute a scale score. Before creating a scale score, you need to make sure that all your items are coded in the same direction and recode as necessary. That's outlined in video 4. Then you need to check to make sure that the scale has a good Cronbach's alpha or good internal consistency. Then finally, you can compute a scale score, and that's what we're going to cover in this video. For this example, we're going to use the Research Methods Questionnaire. This is a 4-item measure that assesses attitudes toward research methods. In video 4, I showed you how to recode question 2. After we compute a scale score, a higher score will indicate more positive attitudes toward research methods. In tutorial 5, we calculated Cronbach's alpha for the scale and found that the alpha for the 4 items was very good, but we could raise the alpha to 0.88 if we omitted the I love research methods question. Because the scale was a scale we created, and so I can show you what it means to omit or delete an item, we're going to compute the scale without the I love research methods question. In SPSS, go to the menu bar, click on Transform, Compute, and then give your new variable, your scale score, a name. I'm naming the scale RM Attitude Total. Then you click on each of the items you want to include in the scale, connect with a plus sign. This is our second item. Remember to use the recoded item, not the original. And then look forward. And now, because we're decided not to include the I love research methods, I'm simply not going to include it in my scale score. And that's what it means to omit an item. Click OK. And your new total score or scale score will appear at the end of your data set. Let's look at another example. This is a self-esteem scale that has 10 questions, and 5 of those questions have been recoded. But notice there are missing data. We can compute a scale score as before. Here I'm going to call my total score self-esteem. And then here, I'm showing you that you can also just type directly into the numeric expression box. Remember to use recoded variables instead of the original variable. Okay, check over to make sure that all of your items are included and you have the recoded items instead of the original. Then click OK. Now, when you look at the end of your data set, you'll notice that there's missing values. For those participants who had missing data for items making up the scale. Now that might be okay. You might not want to include data from participants who skipped items. However, in some cases, if a participant skips only one question out of, in this example, a 10-point scale, you're losing all of their data. And so there are a couple solutions to address this. I could create an average score instead of a total score. To do this, go to Transform, Compute, then give your variable a name. I'm calling this self-esteem average, or self-est average. And then in the numeric expression box, I'm going to click on that and type mean, and then beginning parentheses. Then I'm going to add all the items that I'm going to include in my scale, separated by a comma. And here I'm double clicking on each one and make sure that you include the recoded item, not the original. And I could also alternatively type these into the numeric expression box. Then add an end parentheses and check to make sure that all my variables are in there. There are commas separating the variables. You can or do not have to have a space, and then click OK. And then we see that we get the average score at the end of our data set. Now, if you still want a total, another option is to do the same thing that I just did here, except call it a total and take the average times the number of questions. So here I would take the average of all these and then times it by 10 because I have 10 items. Click OK. And you'll notice now I've got a total score that's the same for those without missing data, but for those who have missing data, we now have a score. Okay, now I'm going to show you something super fancy. If you're overwhelmed and you don't want any more information, just exit out of this video and you're pretty much good and done. But if you're interested in a more advanced procedure, what you can do is you can tell SPSS to only compute either an average or a total score if the participant has completed at least a certain number of items. Let me show you how to do that. Go to Transform, Compute, and we would have basically a very similar equation here, although I'm going to call this total 2 so I can show you the difference. And in my equation here, I'm going to put a period and an 8. That's going to tell SPSS to only do this numeric expression for participants who have completed at least 8 of these 10 items. Now this number, I could do 7, I could do 6, I could do 9. I just chose 8 because that seemed like a reasonable number. Then I click OK. And we get this new variable. Now it doesn't really affect anything that you see here because all of these participants, they were only missing 1 item. So they had completed 9 out of the 10, which met our criteria. But if you look at case 29, down here, this person has a lot of missing data, and we see that if we didn't tell SPSS to omit this person's data, we would get a score, and it might be meaningless because they really only answered a couple questions. And so for this participant, we have missing data. But for those participants who had at least 8 or more items completed, we have data that we can use for future analyses. Now finally, there is one more way that you can deal with missing data. I tend not to do this, but I'm just going to show you real quick. Go to Transform, Replace Missing Values, and you can choose if a person missed question 1, they would just replace that question with a mean score, which would be an option that you could use. Some people really like this option and always replace their missing values. I tend not to do this and just address missing data in the other ways that I mentioned. Now remember, if you have multiple scales or you have a scale that has subscales, you need to do these steps multiple times. But up next, we'll talk about how to run descriptive statistics. We are finally getting to analyses. Woohoo!